Hello, everybody. Happy weekend to you. Happy Saturday morning to of those of you on this side of the planet, and happy Saturday evening to all of you on the other side. So happy to be here and grateful for you guys being here with me as well. Before we get into everything, let's bring some love energy into this moment, into our lives, and let it fill us up and flow out to the world because the world could always use more of it, right? Excuse me. So, if you'd like to join me first in taking a big, deep breath in and hold it for as long as you like and release it how you like. Um, and whether you're watching live or even on replay, we can join together outside of space and time and multiply that love out to the world. So let's take a big deep breath in. Wonderful. And I do have our singing bowl. So we will hit it 3 times, and each time just imagine a beautiful waterfall of unconditional love energy from up above. It just drops in, fills us up, and flows out to the world. So here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me and doing that. Hello, everybody. So happy. We almost have equinox tomorrow. We've kind of already entered fall season, I believe. I think they consider that like September 1st or spring if you're on the lower hemisphere of the world. But right now we have like almost equal days and nights that will hit for a little bit as we go into the fall and spring equinox. So energy tomorrow as we go into this um what are we going into? Is it Libra season? Hello. I was like, when it comes out to Virgo, I evidently haven't had enough coffee yet. But as we go into Libra season, so great balancing between the sun and the moon, the day and the night, energy. So a lot of falling away, and we're right in the middle of eclipse season too. So we've got a lot of this endings and beginnings, letting go to make room for new things, exiting something, entering to new things. So we got a lot of that energy going on. So enjoy it. If you feel like you're wanting to purge stuff, it's right in alignment with that energy too. So that wanted to mention that. And if you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome. We got a great group of people, huge hearts, wonderful senses of humor, which is what we really can use in this journey of humanity, right? And so welcome. And how the free readings work, I do go down in order, first come, first serve, down the free readings. Um, there are no special list. The chat is it. You just put your question out there, and I try to get to as many free readings as I can. And I usually pull like 1 to 2 cards for those. If anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange. Prioritize those. I step outside of those, and I dive deeper, meaning I pull more cards for those too. So if you're interested in getting more of a deep dive, you can make a donation, or to have it prioritized. You can use the super chat at the bottom of the chat, or in the I'm so sorry, the sinuses today. um, uh, or in the description box of the video, I have my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, or Square. So, and there's no set amount for donations. Whatever you're able to give from your heart is perfect. I know um, everyone's finances vary from day to day, person to person, country to country, and with rates of exchange and cost of living being different all the way across the world. That's why I don't look at any of that. So, what else? What else? I think that's everything for right now. Yeah, I think that's it. So my pipes will clear up here as I talk more. So apologies that I'm hacking up. But I'm going to be using the Round Tarot today. I really like this deck, so we will use that. We'll start with, I have a few donations. I have a couple via the PayPal, and then we will have Supernova. So Supernova, if you are here and awake, I know you're on the other side of the world. Happy Saturday night to you. Make sure to put your questions in. And then HTTPS. Hello, hello. All right. So Maria, I got both of your donations here. So thank you so much for those. So we'll start with those two. And then, hey, Johanna, shout out to one of my YouTube channel members. Hey, good to see you. Also on the other side of the world. So happy weekend to you. And yeah, if you're interested in being one of my YouTube channel members, I prioritize the donations first, and then if there's any of my YouTube channel members, then I do their free readings next, and then I get to the other free readings. Like yesterday, I didn't get to any of the free readings in last night's session, but I try to. So keep trying. If not on Sundays, I do a special because I'm only on in the afternoon, in the morning from 11 to 1 p.m. Mountain. And then I go spend an hour with my praying mantis members. And then I go back to, I come back on and complete all readings, even all the free readings from that Sunday morning session. So if you try during, Fridays and Saturdays and I don't get to your, make sure to come in on Sunday mornings and at least put your question there, and you can always come back and watch it later. But I definitely come back on to complete all of those. I used to do it for all sessions, but it became to be too much. And when I got sick in August from the plague, Spirit was really like, boy, you better balance yourself. I'm like, all right. So, but I do like to do that on Sundays because I do want to make sure at least some people get their free readings. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I think we're good to start here. So, Maria, thank you for your first donation. Let's take a look here. The days of our lives. Oh, the sexy passion season. Whoa. That's got to be on HBO. Not regular cable. Let's see what we got here. So you want to know what are Walter's thoughts and feelings towards you today. So there's thoughts and feelings. And then what's coming for you and Walter this upcoming week. Let's see what they want you to know here. All right, they want those two. Okay, what's all this about? All right. And then updates on him leaving that place he's at with his ex. All right, there's that. Okay. Well, we definitely have some passion going on here with the Ace of Wands. So there's a little extra spark happening here That's interesting. We'll see what that's the bottom of the deck. So there is some sort of action and movement that is happening, some magic. Um, and it's being aware of where you're focusing your energy to with the Ace of Wands. So we'll make sure of that. Now, thoughts, we got the Page of Swords. So there is movement and a change of thoughts and beliefs. It's, thinking of pages as like number 11s, it's an enhancement, it's a moving up, it's a upgrading of thinking, expansion, clarity of thinking around about you as well. So I like that kind of energy. Let's see what the feelings are that come along with that too. Yeah. So we got the page of wands. So you get the Page of Swords and the Page of Wands. So Page of Wands isn't so much the emotion is being allowed to flow yet, but there is some passion, some energetic and physical attraction is expanding. The Knight of Pentacles, though, coming out with it is slow and steady wins the race, right? And I like that, even though there's this, obviously, with the Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands coming out, there is more of a growth of attraction between the two of you. Energy is rising. And it can be some past life energies that are coming in. That bond is being allowed to mesh a little more. So I know we've talked about, your approach is friends, 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 and then I feel like it's important for you to let them take the lead, be patient, and let things unfold. Um, Especially since they're leaving uh, an old relationship, because what is it we don't want to be? We don't want to be the rebounder, right? Okay. So that's what's coming in with those, and then what's coming in for you guys this upcoming week. Well, you got 5 cards for this upcoming week. Yeah. Here's that Leo energy coming in, and the Death card is a death and rebirth that's coming in here. 2 major arcana. So I like that. It does feel like there's courage and there's strength. You always get that Leo card, don't you? I mean, this strength card, because you're a source of strength and courage for them as they're going through things, as they're going through this rebirth. Let's see what these 3 cards are that came in here. Okay. Patience, temperance. So we got another patience card. They put 2, the Knight of Pentacles and the Temperance are 2 of my, like, hold on now, hold on. But you got the Emperor and the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is new birth, sensuality, but also there is this energy of, nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself. And this Emperor card, Aries energy, as they're going through this new birth. And so I feel like this week is important, changes and decisions that they're making, or they're in the process of. That's what the Emperor does. They dismiss all these you know advisors that are around him, self-appointed advisors. And so they're deciding what it is they want to do, and then they're going to put a plan, and then they're going to take action. And I feel like that's a big piece of what they're doing this week, is making plans to take action. And I like this, that you're a good source as they're going through this, but reinforcing patience and balance, patience and balance. Yeah, we're on your first one, Maria. So, so I like that for this next week. It's go with the flow, allow things to unfold, be a source of strength, but allow them to be the emperor and to make those choices of what they're looking for, right? Let's see here, an update on him leaving that places with his ex. Yeah, still at a fork in the road, still figuring things out. But that's their current energy. But that makes sense with the Emperor, though, because they're really, really putting a lot of effort into that this week, of going, all right, I've got to make some decisions, I've got to make some plans, and I've got to take some action. I can't it's like I can't wait around for someone else to make decisions. I've got to initiate things, and I think it's a good time for it too. I feel like whatever was going on with his ex when she went to the hospital or whatever, that it's like he feels it's enough time now. So I like that. So yeah, it's I feel it's all good. You don't want to rush into, out of the frying pan and into the fire, and be that, you know, it's like all the baggage. You don't want to be um like the airport, because he's kind of in this and I'm just seeing all this, sorry. I'm seeing this little movie playing in my head of him. He's in the middle of waiting at a connecting airport to land somewhere, and he's got all his baggage with him, but we don't want, you know, you know, you don't want to pick him up at the airport and load all the baggage into your vehicle and take him to your house. It's like they're going to catch an Uber or a taxi to go to their new place, and then um, you guys begin something more. But it's like, no, no, no. They need to find their own way, is what is coming in my head. So that is for your first one. So thank you for that donation. And then for the second one, thank you for your additional donation. You said today he's said he's annoyed at stuff over there by him and didn't want to be mean to you. So he's going to rest for a bit. Oh, okay. So what's happening to him today? All right. Well, that makes sense what we were talking about already. So let's take a look here and see what else we can, need to know basis, what's happening to him today. All right. And I do want those on that one. When is he going to leave that place where he's staying at? Let's see if they give us anything else. Timing. And what did he mean by saying he likes you more than just liking? Yeah, there's that magic, right? There's that the energetic attraction, which I like. I like this, allowing them to, it's to grow. And I'm sorry, they interrupted me in my own head. And by that, they're like, because you're allowing and you're not putting pressure, you're not, you know, trying to like encourage relationship, you know, sticky relationship, it's like that's what's allowing growth to happen between the two, right? Because again, Leo energy on the bottom of the deck. You got the Sun card this time, though. There is this energy of the lion doesn't want to be caged. He's just leaving a cage now from an abusive zoo. And it's like, no, here's the Serengeti. Let's do the another show. It's so funny. Your spirit guides are hilarious because I'm seeing the Circle of Life, Lion King, and when it was him and the hedgehog and the little whatever weasel. I don't know, it was a weasel. It was a little thing, but the Hakuna Matata. No worries for the rest of our days. They're all dancing together, and it's like that's the kind of it's like adventure onto the Serengeti, not being there. Yeah, yeah, that's perfect. So it's like Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata. So all right. Yeah. So let's see here. So what's going on here with them right now? So let's see what we got here. Yeah, look at see, and here's that emperor that we are talking about. He's getting things together. There's a movement of emotion, but a movement away of emotion. And so there's emotional action, emotional, movement. But the Emperor energy is very much fiery Aries, and they're like, they don't want to be told what to do, how to do it. Again, all of this, friction, um, that's coming here. And so there's this movement of emotion. And something for us all to remember is we're right in the middle of eclipse season, and we just had the full moon, super full moon, lunar eclipse in Pisces, which huge emotion, huge inner reflection. Talk about our emotion, our normal emotion as a human, expanded for a full moon, expanded for a super full moon, expanded for a lunar eclipse, and then Pisces. It's like, um, I'm surprised we're not all bawling and crying. you know, we probably are doing it as we fall asleep at night. But I'm surprised we're not doing it in public, but there's a lot of emotional movement happening too. So, just know that there's some expansiveness and irritability that's, with this fiery Aries energy that's coming in, all that Leo energy too. So a lot of fire with the sun, but not passionate fire. This is, you know, don't tell me what to do fire. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. So that was that. Let me just go backwards here. When so this is when oh yeah, this is when he was leaving, and then okay, and then this is the crazy X energy, I think, because we did. So that's what's happening to him today. So, crazy X energy. Yeah, well, see, here's the Pisces energy. With the high priestess. So there is the stepping away, connecting higher. That's what the high priestess does. She goes into her high priestess temple and connects higher, goes behind the veil, dives deep into the emotions, really looking at things. So there is a lot of that emotion trying to balance, and this heatedness with this Knight of Wands. Sometimes that feels like passion, but in this case, it feels like conflict. So I do feel like there is some, you know, going back and forth between the two, trying to balance things, trying to figure things out, trying to break cycles, trying to do all that stuff. So, so there definitely is a lot of that there. What's this other one here? Yeah, Three of Pentacles, trying to be true to our unique selves. And that, when we talk about that lion energy of not wanting to be caged, that is so, so much of coming in here. Um, you know, it's I want to be me, and it's like, well, no, you have to be who I want you to be. You're not doing things the way I want you to do. No, this is what I want, and that's what happens when our inner child within us, in all humans, right? When it feels unsafe and out of control, we go out of our minds, we go out of our compassion, our love, and then we're crazy hissing cats, attacking, running away, hiding. And so it makes sense that there's arguments and friction going on because especially on the other side, because I feel like they're the ones that are feeling so unstable, whereas um, he is has more inner strength, or stronger, and when they make their mind up, they're just here we go, kind of energy. um so I wouldn't worry about him. He knows what he needs to do, and he's like, okay, if I'm a frying pan, and I feel like he is a frying pan, especially with all this fire. Is he a fire sign? Like, I can't remember. But frying pans heat up quick and then cool off. Slow cookers, and usually Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus is a great book. Talks about how usually masculine energy is more frying pan and feminine energy is more a slow cooker. And he's a Scorpio. Well, the Scorpio energy too, the sting that's there. That makes sense too. So, yeah. So he just when he's seated up, he knows it's best not to, talk to anyone. I like that self-awareness. Otherwise, you know, he's probably said things in his past and he's tired of eating crow, because he's like, those feathers don't taste good. So let's see here. And then anything about when he's leaving that here. Yeah, there's still some obstacles there with the 9 of Wands, and it's an important time. He will move forward here with the Page of Cups. It's like there's this uh, kind of delay is for on purpose here, so they can find their self-love and they can realize I have to validate myself, not them. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's not saying he doesn't want to be mean. He doesn't want to be mean to you, not because of, you know, it's like when the pet monkey's throwing poo, he's like, I don't want the poo to get on you. He's not throwing it at you. The monkey's just throwing poo around. And it's like, it's best if you're not around for that. So I'm sparing you getting smacked by monkey poo. So that's funny. All right. And then what did he mean by saying he's more than just liking you? Yeah. So I got the 10 of Pentacles. That is that relationship energy. And the 5 of Swords is the conflict between head and heart. And so, I like that. They're saying I could see us being more. And again, we talk about the compatibility, that it's there and they recognize it, but they're still in that inner conflict. They're still figuring things out up here and battling between head and heart, which is good because the head is going, no, no, no. We don't want to go down that road yet. We need to, let's get out of the current situation. Let's transform those emotions and thinking that created the conflict before in this other relationship, because we don't want to keep doing what we've always did and get what we've always gotten. We want something different. And that's why it's good to have this waiting period. And, what do they used to say? Something like for every year someone's together, they should take a month and not be in a relationship of, you know, any kind of romantic relationship, and allow yourself time to, transform and really understand who you are and sort things out. So I like that. So that's what's coming in, Maria. I like it. I know, right? So thank you for your dual donations today. And I do feel like they'll probably communicate some later today. Because like I said, I feel like they're a frying pan. They cool off fast. So in the heat of the moment with whatever's going on, I feel like they'll be calmer later. And I do feel like you'll have communication later today. So he'll be like, all right, the fiery dragon has returned into its cave. All is safe. I like it. Absolutely, my pleasure. Much love to you, my dear. Have a happy weekend. All right. So we shall scroll up and let's take a look here. All right. So Nova. We've got 3 from you, and then HTTPS, and then Johanna, and then Aria, 2 for you. So that's the order that will come in here. And Nova, you're surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised we're not all gone here, to be honest. I'm like, with all the upheaval of stuff, I'm surprised that like World War III hasn't happened. But thankfully, we're sending unconditional love out to the world, filling ourselves up and letting it flow out, which helps balance all this energy. Definitely is bringing truth and bringing hidden things to the surface, both personally with each of us, but also in the world. You'll see a lot of like China, the youth are uprising against the old emperor. Russia is having trouble. There, people are starting to kind of get uprising with the war that's going on there. There's a lot of um, a lot of stuff coming to a head, right? So we definitely have that. And hey, VD Jalan, shout out to another one of my YouTube channel members. Hello, hello. You'll see their names in green with their little badges. All right, so Nova, I just see your first question here. So, what do spirit guides want you to know about therapy, going to the doctors, or whatever? Oh, let's take a look here. All right, I want that one. What else? They are giving you tarot. Okay. And those two, right? And that one. All right. Let's take a look. So you do have the Ace of Wands on the bottom of the deck. This is like that magician card we got yesterday, where it's such an important piece of the underlying thing between everything is our energy is what creates our world around us. Because you even have the world card right underneath that, which is the changing of the ending of old cycles, the ending of the old way of which we see the world, and a beginning of a new adventure. And I like this. You got the 10 of Pentacles underneath that with the Hermit card. And this is about, a message that you're never given more than you can handle, and that you do truly, your world is full of abundance. This goes back to that gratitude that they talked about too. So there is this energy of when we focus on gratitude for what we have in this moment, laughter, joy, unconditional love, and we turn inward and upward and just allow ourselves to be loved and feel that love, then that fills up our life and we see the world very differently. The Hermit card is coming back out of the chaos, coming back of how we see the outside world, and connect. Let them guide you through the dark times here. It's nighttime here on the card, and that is spirit helping guide you on your path moment by moment, right? Sometimes it feels dark and we can't see miles ahead. We can only see the very next step. And in those times, then that's when we can ask spirit for that, right? And just go, all right, I'm just going to take one more step at a time. In this moment, what am I grateful for? And that helps change things, right? Yeah, it's nighttime, literally where you guys are at over there in down under. So I love that you guys are entering spring equinoxes tomorrow for you. So this new beginnings. There's this freshness. There's this letting go, and we talked about here a little earlier about all this lunar eclipse energy. The full moon is endings, and you're having a new moon and a new moon solar eclipse here in a couple days in Libra, and so there is this balancing. There is this energy of all of this, but they're like, just focus on the very next step, and know that whatever we focus on is what grows and expands. So if you can put reminders on your phone, on the wall, sticky notes, wherever, what am I focusing on? What am I focusing on? Because it's really, you got the Emperor underneath too, which is about Aries energy, new beginnings, but also taking charge of your life, right? I'm deciding. I am going to, what happens next. So let's see what else they have here. Yeah, the sun. So here's the brightness, the sunshine, the victory, focusing on that. You've got your inner child wanting attention here too. So, if you, one of the beautiful things that we can do is realize, even though you're 19, you are an adult now compared to your inner child. you know, um, and your inner child is looking for unconditional love, unconditional acceptance, unconditional time, all those things we didn't get as a child, which no human ever did, even our parents and our parents' parents and parents' parents. It's children raising children raising children. No human has had a perfect childhood, right? But every one of our inner children is knows us as our adult self, or young adult self, and it's like, we can embrace our inner child and develop this relationship. It sees us as a separate entity, our inner child. It sees us as this adult. Can I trust you? Can I trust you? They know everything we think and feel too. So if we're being true to ourselves, they'll allow us to pick them up, hold them, and let them know. In one of my therapy sessions that I went to, was very cliche. They did, I think it's EDMR. They can do lights, but they did sound. My therapist did, and it was like it would go over here and then over here and over here. It was like woo 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 woo. And she took me back on a train back through my childhood, back through my life, to find out where my, you know, perfectionism that I had and my mistrust of men was, and we got all the way back to, I was in first grade, so whatever age that is, 6 or 7 years old, I don't know anymore. But it was the time of latchkey children. My mom was at work, my dad was working. My brother, who was 3 years older, was supposed to walk with me and go in the house, but we were just like a block away, and he was like, "I'm gonna go play with my friends," and I'm like, "No, you're not supposed to. We're supposed to go home," because that was the rule. Get in the house. My mom was usually just like an hour later she'd come home, so we weren't like, too much by ourselves. But when I walked in as that little child into the house all by myself, it freaked me out because I was all alone. I felt unsafe. And when she was doing the EDMR and we were going back in time, when she asked that question, and I'm like, it was like a buried very, very deep inside, and I saw it, but I saw it as like split screen. Half of it was me as the little inner child walking in through the garage that came into the kitchen, and then the other half was me as my adult self coming in from the living room into the kitchen. So it's like I saw the little me by the garage door walking in, and he saw me coming around as the adult into the kitchen. And my immediate impression of my adult to the little kid is like, "Oh, look at you. You're so cute." And and I saw that I was scared. And the little me was like, and it saw me as an adult, and it liked who I was. And so I walked over, and this is so cliche, is that I walked over and picked my little inner child up, right? It's like you find your inner child. Well, I literally went over and picked up my inner child and just held on to me and said, "It's all going to be okay. You're a cool kid." And I knew that I was me. The inner child knew I was it later. And it was like, okay. And it restructured things for me. But I feel like this is such an important thing about that your inner child and who you are now are different entities, and that you can pick up your inner child and be this perfect parent to your inner child. And I like that. Wow. I know we went deep. I think that was for more than just you and me. Yeah, and you have the Four of Pentacles, which does, this is that stability in the outside world that's coming in here, realizing that you're not going to find what makes you feel whole out in the outside world. It is inward and upward that we ultimately, with that Four of Pentacles, we learn when I feel unstable, it's because I'm defining myself by the unstable things of the outside world. But when I turn inward and upward, that's where I find my solidity of my life, right? Yeah, and I feel like there's this encouragement with therapy. The Eight of Swords is you part of what you're doing is questioning your thoughts and your beliefs and your mindsets that have made you feel blinded and bound and trapped. And but it's allowing you and and there is like the success that comes through all this that you are going to discover this relationship. The Lover's card is like this can be our relationship with our higher self that brings in a new way of looking at our worth in relationship to the outside world as well. So I feel like they're saying just, you know, you've been to one therapy session, I think you said, and just trust that. And I feel like that's why they wanted me to tell you about that one therapy session that, there is great discovery and life transforming things that we don't even realize that it did because when I went through that EDMR, when I got back to that point where my brain started filing things differently because it was like a shock, a little, it's the first time we had trauma, our brain starts filing things differently. But once we got to that, it was just like over a couple days after that, things just refiled. Things that bothered me before just stopped bothering me. The brain is an amazing thing, but it re-change things inside. But I feel like they're saying just realize, um, that therapy is going to help in so many ways, and so keep going because you have your dream with the Aquarius star card. That the blocks that will be removed, they're going to help you find your power and step into your power, which is going to open up this gap that lets you move more towards your dream, and it helps things unfold. That knowing that everything that happened in our life and happens in our life is for us, the tune of for you, the for tune. And at the time, it's like I don't know why I would want to go through all that, but I know, I would say to everyone, trust the process, trust life, because here with me in my late 50s, looking back at my life, I see why I wanted the family that I did, why I wanted to feel alone, abandoned, everything I did and experienced is so you can just see the all the pieces like, oh, now I see how this all fits together. At least maybe not all, but a lot of how it all fits together of why. Wow, okay, I get it. And yeah, and you have peace of mind coming with the four of swords, mental stability, physical stability. You got both the four pentacles and the four of swords, and even on the bottom of the deck you have the four of wands, which is happiness and joy. Oh, and there you are, there's your empress energy. So creativity and all this, and but they are saying here, just trust it, just take it a day at a time, a moment at a time. And that's what they have for that question there. So I like that for you. And thank you for your additional donations. Let me just put the cards back in here in different places, and we'll go on to your second question. All right. Give one more shuffle here. I have my diffuser going in the background with some wild orange essential oil. So I just feel like citrus wild orange is important for you to to know. Citrus is the scent of citrus is actually uplifting and energetic too. So that's something to think about too. So your number two question, I saw it here. There it is. And you did number three. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. So number two Wanna know what do your spirit guides want you to know about your dreams and moving towards your dreams and moving out of this depression, uh, deteriorating phase? I think they kind of were just started talking about that towards the end of that, right? That, um, the 9 of Wands, the things that are holding you back from moving forward in your dreams is this these chains that you have that they're ready to, help remove, and the therapy is a huge piece of it because they will give you tools to help you move past this. And um and of course, if you are in extreme ways, you can normally call your counselor and just say, you know what, my depression is extreme and I almost feel, suicidal. And with what you were talking about yesterday, and if they're like, well, you know what, well, let's get together earlier, or tell you what, why don't you go and do this, um, and they might be able to guide you with that too. They usually will, you know allow you to call. I know it's late at night right now, but you can leave a message or whatever, and they can call you back too. You know, but I feel like that's an important piece, is to allow them, uh, be honest with them, just be totally upfront with them, because the more honest you are in that, the more they can assist you. But if you hide and hold back, then they're only going to be able to help you as much as you're willing to accept, and share, right? Let me see here what else they want you to know here. And of course, I'm not a licensed professional counselor at all. So, of course, we just have to talk about disclaimers here, that tarot is designed for fun. I know this doesn't feel like fun, but there is this, uh, nudging to definitely seek the professionals regarding anything here, and this is for everyone. So, yeah, yeah, exactly. And it just allows it, and obviously you've been in one session and you've been holding it in for a long time, so it's like they're building their trust, they're building, gaining your trust. But the more that you can just be like, blah, all right, here it is, this is what's going on, and they're like, okay, they might give you a little bit of medication to start off, and be honest about any kind of drugs you're using and everything, because they're like, that's a side effect of that drug, because they even have, you know um, especially if we use a lot of something, it can give us suicidal tendencies, as well. But you know there's this, these two cards on the bottom of the deck coming up here, and the 10 of cups is that joy and celebration, and the page of wands is all about focusing our energy, right? And so I know depression, there can be chemical things that are impacting, so I never downplay that, but so much of the tint and the energy of our life comes from us. And if I focus on, you know, the lower vibration, lower vibration, lower vibration, it grows and grows and grows. But if I can do something, and it's like getting out of bed, it's like if we're laying there going, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. I'm like the covers get more and more over my head. But if I'm like, right, I just got to decide. All right, let's go. Ready on three. 1, 2, 3. All right, here I go. And then I can get up and go. And the same thing when and we all feel lower vibration. But when we're done, it's like deciding, all right, you know what? I don't want to feel like this anymore. I'm switching things up and I'm taking action. I'm going to focus on those things that bring me joy, things that help me activate higher vibrational energy. What's going to make me laugh? What's going to make me feel gratitude? Again, this energy of higher vibration. um, is what it's so strong. Just takes a little bit of step, just one step. It's like in the mornings, if I don't feel like smiling when I wake up, it's like, all right, let me just pretend I'm smiling, um, and then, um, and then I'll at least be instead of sad face, at least I'll be neutral. And I'll start to, smirk, which is not really a grin. It's smirk is like, lower vibrational smile. But then I start to laugh, and then all right, and then the smile comes, and then I'm like, I can tell the universe when I wake up in the morning, the creator, I'm just like, thank you for your love. And then start looking at what else I'm grateful for. And then the next thing I'm grateful for. And the gratitude does grow, right? Yeah. You got the Three of Cups. Here's joy again. Joy and celebration. This is also your spiritual posse. So they're making themselves known here. And, you know, when we're when I step back and I just imagine myself surrounded by spirit guides and angels and guardian angels and loved ones on the other side, there's this multitude and I'm not alone. And when I realize that, then and I'm so loved and so supported, there's no judgment. It's unconditional love that helps us transform how we see everything too. Yeah. And imagine these two cards coming out together. Patience and be patient. Moment at a time. Knight of Pentacles, slowest moving knight. Temperance is another patience card. Just it goes back and forth. One little pouring back and forth of the cup at a time is what the alchemy is. And eventually the magic happens and it does transform. Just be patient if you can, and just take it a moment at a time. What's the very next thing, right? What's the very next thing? And the dreams, um, this lower vibration emotions and fears that are holding you back. These are those things that are being cut right through this, process. Especially the counseling is going to be such a huge piece because you do feel alone physically and you hermit yourself physically a lot, but this is like when you have this appointment that you go knowing someone supporting you. It's an important piece for you, and I like that. Yeah, and here's the Five of Cups. So this is the card you get when we talk about transformation of your dreams, right? And the movement of that energy from lower vibration to higher vibration. And so you've got this you know experiences that you're having. This is what part of why you wanted to come down here and why you wanted to experience everything you have up to this point. And then what you're learning in on how to transform that and change those emotions from lower vibration to higher vibration is what this, you know, the purpose behind it all has been. We talk about the Five of Cups being your poster child for your dream because it is helping people, because every human can relate to feeling low, even suicidal, and feeling like you want to end everything, you can't take it anymore. But it's like, one more day, one more moment, even just one more moment. I'm going to hang around because nothing lasts forever. And we're not alone. We might feel physically alone, but we're never, ever, ever alone. Again, multitudes of beings of unconditional love and light that surround us are always there, but it's calling out to them, and they will help you move along the roads, heading towards that dream. But this is the dream you're starting. This is a step of your dream. I know it doesn't feel like it probably sometimes, but it's like, no, it's what I'm experiencing, what you're journaling, what you're transforming, even this being on the edge and feeling like, I don't know if I can stand another moment of my life. People are going to relate to that so much in our lives. Whenever I talk about, you know almost ending my life when I was 22, people always, I mean, you know, talk about, yeah, I felt that way too. I felt that way. I feel that way now. People are like always sharing, and that's humanity. Humanity is not an easy journey, but we have the courage and the ability to get through it, just one moment at a time. So that's what they have for that one. And then your third one, and thank you again for your multiple donations, is Curdy Pie. What does he want to say? So, of course, we're going to be drawn here. I don't know. 1 through 12. I feel like we're going to go to the ninth, 8 to 9. Okay, so it is this energy oracle because it's for this month, the month of 9. So let's see, what does Kurt want to add in here today? What would you like? That one right there. Yeah. Healer of the Ages. I believe that is Jesus. So 51 here. Let's see what we got. Health and vitality. He's been on a health kick with you, hadn't he? So this powerful being brings the force of ancient wisdom and profound healing. So I'm just gonna, I feel like I want to hold him up here. The light of divine consciousness pours from his hands and his heart, flowing to you with love and a powerful healing intention. This amazing entity is with you now, bringing resolution to physical, mental, and emotional ills, helping to unblock stuck energy and revitalizing your life force. Can't make this up. You may have felt this strong presence recently, or you may just be opening to the wonderful sensations now. You can call upon this emissary of miraculous transformation whenever you need vitality, balance, or renewal. Know that at the deepest level, an important healing is taking place. So I feel like this is them bringing in that energy. Yeah. And he's helping transform this stuff. Yeah, and then, like I mentioned before, reading the reversals of these cards, you may have been feeling extremely out of sorts or even upside down in your own life. You may be in the midst of some physical problem or just feeling as though you're losing energy. But this card is telling you that there are deeper levels of healing that need to be addressed. Take some time to regroup and put your own healing first. When you're facing mental, emotional, physical, or even addictive patterns, call upon the healer of the ages to bring his energy to the issues you're working on, right? They're saying, call out to them. Quiet your mind and feel their vibration, bringing you warmth and healing light, clearing away any dark or hurting space. Repeat this meditation and be patient, yet also know that divine love can heal you in the blink of a belief. And the affirmation for the card says, the powerful healing of eternal love is with me now and always. Divine consciousness fills every cell. I am whole, healthy, vital, and at peace. So that's a good affirmation to focus your energy. That's that higher vibrational um, energy. So, healer of the ages, that is with you. And so, ask. You just got to ask. So, I feel like that's what he wants to say. And then, I mean, how specific that is to everything that you're going through right now. So, I love that for you. All right, my dear. So thank you again for your donations. Yeah, you can ask him for help. And, you're the spiritual posse, even if you just say, "Help," they'll know what is on your heart, what you're wanting. You don't have to ask a specific way, whatever. You just have to reach out with your heart and say, "Help me," and they will, help. And then plus, of course, the external help too. So that is what they have for you, my dear. So thank you so much for sticking around another day. I'm glad that you are still with us. You do the supernova makes the earth a brighter place, and your impact that you'll make in the future is awesome. So thanks for sticking with it. All right, much love, my friend. And then I see you have another one, so we'll circle back around here after we go through the next ones here. So I'm just going to take a quick sip here. All right. So up next we have HTTPS. Hello, hello. Thank you for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like. You want to know whatever comes out. All right. So let's take a look. Whatever comes out. So. All right. You do have one card, two cards, three cards. So something is starting to progress here. Yeah, you have the Hermit card on the bottom of the deck. So definitely this Virgo energy that we're in this month um, has been an important energy for you. I feel like you've been spending your quality time with spirit, letting them guide you. Um, and I don't necessarily feel like that you've had a like it's not like dark out for you, but it's what they're showing me in my head is like a solar eclipse. So the solar eclipse coming up here in a couple days is probably an important one for you. But it's like when there's even though it's daylight and there's like a partial solar eclipse, it gets kind of a weird lighting. And that's what I feel like you've had is kind of some weird lighting on your life this month. It's not dark, it's not bright, it's just kind of altered. It just feels weird. It's like different, maybe different lighting. But they still were able you still turned to the lantern that did make things the next step brighter for you. And I feel like to continue to do that. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, you've got the Four of Swords, so peace of mind, mental stability, also letting go of expectations and um supposed to's and shoulds and need to's and being able to see things from that higher perspective. And I just feel like it's continual. It always is continual. We have so much that we're conditioned with and filled with in here. And I just feel like it's been a great time of just okay, letting go of this little thing, letting go of another. Now it's like you got rid of a lot of your huge obstacles in your life. Now it's kind of like, you know, they're showing me like moving, and when you move and you pack up, like all the big stuff is you go load it into the truck or whatever. But it's the packing and the sorting of all the little crap that's that can be annoying and exhausting and challenges our patience. And I kind of feel like that's the kind of energy that's coming in here is it's like you just feel like there's how much of this stuff do I got to sort through? And it's like, you know what? Releasing that and allowing the process because things are unfolding here. That's number one. The two cards that are coming in, yeah, so you got the devil card and the sun card. So there has been this shaking and this rattling with the Saturn energy coming in here in Capricorn. And the sun card is our little inner child. So there's been some reflection on there, some bright light, again, shining into your life, showing you the cobwebs, showing you the little stuff. Have you ever like you're packing and you're like, okay, I think we're going good. And then you open a closet and you're like, oh God, I forgot to pack the closet. Or you forgot, oh, the kitchen drawers, there's all this stuff in them. Ugh, give me another box. It's like, but I feel like there's this bright light that's been shining on, and that's just, if you know gold, when gold is being purified, the heat gets turned up higher and higher, and so as they turn up the heat, impurities called dross bubbles up from to the surface, and they scoop it off, and then they turn up the heat more. More stuff comes up, they scrape it off, they turn up the heat, more comes up. So I guess to the point where nothing pops up to the top. So there's just some more dross that's been coming up to the surface, and I feel like they're just saying it's all part of the journey here. And it's like a lot of times humanity will be like, when is this going to be done with this stuff? I'm like, probably when we're dead, and because as long as we have our human, there's been a lot of stuff that's below the surface that we want to transform, and it can take a lifetime, and especially when that's part of the journey, right? And then we learn from what other people are going through, so there's always something. I just feel like, just get used to it. You can never catch up. It's like your emails. You can never catch up on your emails. There's always going to be something coming in, right? It's like, okay, just make peace with it. I kind of like that. Yeah. And you've got your Leo energy here. So you got both the Leo energy cards here with the strength card and the sun card. So there definitely is this, stepping into your strength, stepping into your inner child, and really facing your beliefs of lack seems to be one of the things that uh, puts its head up here now and again, right? Five of Pentacles being, our beliefs about lack and about falling short, and um, being left behind, not having enough. And then the Ten of Pentacles, abundance of life, overflowing, having everything we need. So a big piece of these belief systems that's going on here is this um, fear of not having enough that goes way back into our childhoods, right? That's where when we fear, either we overheard that we don't have enough, or our parents going, no, no, can't afford that right now. There's this, there's this lack. We, regardless of how it was formed and how it came to you, I feel like that's a big piece of what is bubbling to the surface, allowing you the time for this transformation and this change, and developing this trusting relationship more and more, even more and more with Creator, knowing that, when you look and go, you know what, here I am, as old as I am, knowing that I've never, ever, ever been without what I've needed in the moment. I'd be dead right now. And just trusting that and building that trusting relationship that, all right, I'm going to have what I need. And if something doesn't come through, then there's going to be an alternate way or an alternate path I take, or something, but I'm never ever alone, and I'm always divinely guided, protected, and supplied by the divine. So I love that for you. Right, so that's what they have for you, HTTPS. Hopefully that resonated for you. So many blessings to you. Alrighty. And thank you again for your donation. All right. And then Johanna, you are up next. So thank you for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like there. And I think I saw your question down below. Your question today: will people like your St. John's wort tincture? All right. Let's take a look here and see what Spirit wants you to know here. Some natural holistic healing. I like it. All right. What else? Whoa. All right. Come on. Cards are flying around. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. Well, I feel like there will be people that will, of course. There's just some knowledge. The bottom of the deck, you have some knowledge here. The knight, not the knight, but the King of Swords, is all about higher awareness, higher wisdom, higher knowledge, right? And underneath them, you had the Five of Pentacles, which is this belief about lack, and like we just talked about. Then the next card you had, it's like the emotional fulfillment with the Nine of Cups, which is like a dreams come true, but with the Five of Wands, which is conflicting energy. And then you had the Knight of Wands, which is fast movement, and you have another five conflicting of head and heart. So there's a lot of positive movement things here. There's just a lot of transformation. And I feel like with a big piece is that educating people is so important. There, because it's like, here's this, and they're like, oh, cool. But you're like educating and making sure people understand all the impacts that it can have for it, and helping people realize that, then that makes them go, oh wow, okay. That changes their, especially if you're like wanting to sell it or something, and they're like, you want that much for it? And they might not think it has as much value until you tell them all the stuff that it helps, and they're like, really? And you're like, yeah, here's a sample, or yeah, give it a try. And then like they come back and they're like, oh my gosh, I want another bottle of that. I'm going to give that to so and so. Actually, can I have two bottles, because I want to give it to them and give it to them. Kind of energy that comes in there. And then the Five of Wands is about a change of energy, the changing conflict, and realizing that not as many people understand about all of the herbs and the medicinal and amazing things of it. So having patience and helping people overcome their mental blocks and their energetic blocks to these things, the resistance. And then I feel like things really, people are like, wow. But staying open to that, staying open to people's resistance, and even like empathizing. Oh, I get where you're coming from. What are your concerns around that? About it, or do you know what it would, asking them questions and engaging them in a conversation about it, right? That it's like, oh, cool. So I like that. You also have the Six of Cups on the bottom, and I feel like an important piece of this too, because Six of Cups is one of my uh, earlier life or past life, is really, it's a big one of my big past life cards. And I feel like it's important for you to know and trust your gut and trust your instinct about what it can be used for, and experiment, because I feel like there's some lost knowledge that you have regarding it from past lives. So trust that instinct, and don't be afraid to experiment and give it a try. So I like that for you. But it feels like it is I don't feel like a negativity around it at all. I just feel like people, the world has been so influenced by Western medicine that it's like, oh yeah, that's for, but it's like, oh, this is what's worked well for centuries, and it's a lot cheaper and a lot less side effects than other drugs and different things. So I feel like it's important for you to be open-minded, and then people are then open-minded to it as well. So hopefully that makes sense, Johanna. So that is what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Let me take another sip here. All right. And then Aria, thank you so much for your dual donations here. Let's give the first one some love and a like here. All right. And you said your number one, my mother-in-law said some bad things about you to your husband. She didn't know you were on the phone with him listening. Oh, does she want our marriage to end? I think she wants her life to end. Woman, let me tell you. I know. The mama. All right. Let's take a look here and see what were her intentions and, does she want this relationship to end? Let's see what we got here. Super narcissistic. Yay. um, so your poor husband grew up under all that, right? So we have the Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck here, which is movement of communication and thought and belief and mindset is the underlying energy. Some clarity being brought to the surface here, which I like that this everything happens on purpose. We didn't accidentally be on the phone. We were designed to be on the phone to hear this so that we could gain clarity around our own triggers, around what's going on inside, inside of us. Um, so we have the Knight of Wands. She, definitely this Knight of Wands, this is the fastest moving horse, which is like, and I feel like it's more reactive, right? And that's what narcissism, a big piece of what happens is if they can never admit that they're wrong, that they did anything wrong. And if they feel low about themselves, they've got to deflect and they've got to point out and blame others, or put attention to others. And we see that a lot going on with I'm not going to get political, but one of our candidates for president, former president, is diagnosed as narcissistic by a lot of people, and you can see their actions, and you can see how people will never admit they've done something wrong. They've got to blame, they've got to detract, they've got to, they get aggressive, they threaten, they 1 minute you're on their good side till they need to betray you or need to throw you under the bus. Everyone is expendable, and it's not personal. It's just not. They just don't see it. They can't see that. It's like a little inner child. We talk a lot on this channel about when our little inner child feels unsafe and out of control. We do stupid shit because excuse my French, uh, because when we do that, when we go into fight or flight mode, our intelligent side is kicked out, our compassionate and loving side is kicked out because it just wants to do whatever it needs to do. This little 2-year-old and its pet hissing cat, going to do whatever I need to do to feel safe and in control again, right? And so one moment they could want your marriage to end because then they'll have control over their son again. I imagine that you have been a source, an anchor for them to stand up to their mom, probably more than they ever have in their life. And so they probably see you as a threat that, no, you're taking away my scapegoats, or, oh, look, you are my scapegoat. I'm going to blame you. I'm going to say bad things about you, so that my son doesn't think I'm bad. I'm going to point out that because they don't like anyone taking their attention, taking their power, because that's a little 2-year-old. No, I want to feel safe. I need to have this, right? And so there's definitely that kind of energy that comes in. Yeah. So here's their fears with the 3 of Swords coming in here. And, here's that relationship. But clarity around relationships is important here. Understanding Would your husband, having grown up with your mom, would he believe her over you? Probably not. And so, one, it's understanding your relationship with your husband, understanding that they grew up under the throne and the leadership of that. And sometimes, um, narcissists can breed more narcissists, right? And because they grew up with it, it depends on dad or the other parent that was in there, right? Because there is this they learn from experiencing and seeing what is right and wrong, but it also depends on how it impacted them. So just really, you can look at your relationship with your husband and gain your own clarity around that. But a big piece of this too is this is your relationship with yourself and understanding that um, you know, I don't think I saved it. I was reading, if you're ever on Instagram, they have wonderful, wonderful counselor people that are out there that they talk about how to deal with narcissists, what to do and what not to do. And I just read one. Let me see here. Oh, was this taking time to load? I don't. Did I save? I don't know. Oh, 3 rules for arguing with a narcissist. I did save it. This was this morning. Number 1, the most powerful move you can make whoops, that was too fast. Hold on. Number 1. Oops, the most oops, sorry. The most powerful move I need to learn how to do this. Hold on. It was important because they had me do that here. Okay. The most powerful move you can make is no move at all. A narcissist is hoping that you say something ugly because once you do, the whole construct of the conversation changes. They flip the script. It's now about what you just did, right? Which means less attention to what they've been doing. So when you have those chances that they will give you to hurt them, it's a trap. Don't do it. Number 2, you don't need an apology to validate your feelings. Don't get all caught up in trying to show them or make them understand how they hurt you. A narcissist knows full well what they're doing. They know that what they're doing, they may not know why they're doing it, but they know what hurts. They just don't have the ability to care. And that's an important thing, that realizing they don't have the ability to care, right? And you don't need a confession to know that your feelings are true. And number 3, walking away may be the healthiest response you can make to them. Instead of trying to fix the narcissistic perspective, maybe it's yours that needs a correction back to your peace of mind. So I like that. Uh, those are just 3 little things, but it's what's such great awareness when it comes to narcissism, right? Because it's like you realize it's a trap, they'll be like, and you can see it, even in, um, you know, this is what happened to me and it's their fault. Look at them. Look at what they did. Do. It's all deflection and trying to point at everyone else. But that's what a little child does. I don't want to get in trouble. I can't be a failure. I got to point at everyone else. And so when you realize it's little children in adult bodies, you're dealing with 2-year-olds, you stop expecting them to be adults and you start responding as a 2-year-old. When a 2-year-old's throwing a tantrum or says, I hate you, how personal do we take it? Or like, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to care yet, And when we look at that, um, so, I like that. So you said his father is a compulsive liar. Your husband was estranged from him for years. After therapy, you reconcile with him, and oh, good. I'm so glad he's been to therapy. So he's probably dealt with his narcissistic mom too, right? At least he understands that he can recognize it and doesn't believe the crap that flies out of her mouth. I'm saying that in a loving way, in support for you. Yeah. So I like this, trust your intuition, trust yourself. This is that, you know, step away and realize whatever triggers came up. I like that don't expect an apology. We don't need to look for an apology. And it's like, okay, we can do this. Yeah. And, focus on your marriage and the joy you have and the hierophant too, and your commitment to one another. And, you know, obviously, have you talked to your husband about, how do you feel when people say these things? And if he's like, oh, it's just BS, and it's them acting like children, but well, do you believe it? And um, is our do you want and you can share your feelings too, that it's important to me, um you and our marriage are important to me, and it feels like these individuals are trying to tear it apart. Do you want to, you know, um, put an end to it? And, we can find people who are supportive that help support our marriage instead of trying to, you know, because of their childishness, they're like little kids wanting all the toy to be theirs, you know, because he would need to stand up to them, right? And share that. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that together, if he's still going to therapy, or if you guys want to go to therapy to learn to communicate, how you can communicate that with them without attacking them, right? Because we know it's like, I want you to stand up to your mother and your friends. It's not going to go over well, right? That's just going to put them on the defense and push them in the direction of their friends and their mom, right? But if we're like, you know, we can lovingly approach it without blaming your husband, and just say, would be what would bring us. I'm just trying to phrase it in my head here. Just, what's important to me is you and our marriage. Um, and what would mean a lot to me is kind of standing up and doing that, because when they do these things, I feel this way, right? But with that, it talked about all this stuff that comes up comes back to us here, right? Our insecurities and our fears, right? And so these things will continually come up in one way or another until we turn inward anyway. So I would encourage, before reaching out to them, look inward and find out, you know, if I'm afraid that my husband's going to believe these people and leave me, that's a fear. And, these triggers that are happening are for you to look at and go, okay. Because if you convince them to not spend as much time with their mom or their friends, you're just going to find more people that are going to be that mirror for us anyway, because we can run but we can't hide. So it's important for us to look at that. So hopefully that helps there. But it doesn't matter what mama says and does, if your husband is going to believe all these people, right? And and choose to go away and end a marriage, then thank you. Thank you for showing me who you are, because I deserve to have someone that stands up for me and that chooses me first, you know. But we start with us choosing ourselves first, because that's what we're looking for. But the fear we look at, and then we're like, yeah, what we think, what will everyone else think? Well, if they listen to them and do all that, the people who truly know you and love you, and you tell them, yeah, we're divorcing because, you know, of that, they're going to be like, good riddance to bad rubbish. You deserve more, right? But do we believe that? That's the thing, is like, do I deserve that? I do. We start by giving it to ourselves first, and then we start ignoring all of these um, actions of other people as being personal, and ask, why did I want this to happen for me? And I start realizing, going, okay, I wanted these people to do this so that I could find this fear I have and transform it so I don't have to fear this ever again. And so it is for you. And I know that's hard when we're in the midst of it, but something to look at with all of that. I feel like came through with all that, because I definitely, with that video that I saw this morning, that they said save that. I normally don't save them. I look at them like, oh, these are awesome, but they are like, save that when you want access to that later, and it was for you. So I love that. All right. So thank you for that. Hopefully that helps, Ariane. And then we'll go on to your second question here. So you said, we are happy and he has changed a lot with friends and family. He spends more time with you. Oh, okay. And they are all bothered by this. Yep. Is he taking these opinions seriously? Um, he wants the end of our marriage. Oh, he does want to end your marriage? Or you're asking, does he want to end your marriage? I didn't sense that he was, but if you're saying that he does. But let's see here. Is he taking these things seriously? Let's see here. You know what's interesting is what asking, okay, good. I was like, I didn't think it was. What 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 impacts a relationship more, right? Is how you react or respond to what they do, right? Um, because, like, let's see, I'm gonna try to put the shoe on the other foot. Let's say, let's say a friend of yours, he overhears them saying to you, I never liked him. He's not good enough for you. And then if he was like, do you think I'm not good enough for you? Would you leave me? And you're like, no, why would you think that about me? You know? And if he, let's say he kept bringing it up over and over again, you know, I don't think your friends like me. I think you want to leave me. That, and not saying that you're doing this to him, but can you see how it's not so much what other people are saying, it's how they're reacting to it with you that's important. And so um, if you start working on yourself and transforming those beliefs and those triggers that you have within you, then you will act differently, right? And he's spending more time with you, hanging out with you. And so you can start having gratitude for, I'm so grateful for this about you. And I love this about you. And, the more energy we spend in gratitude and expressing that higher vibrational energy with them, who wants to leave that? They're going to say, screw all these other people, right? But if we become, um, focusing on fears and sharing our insecurities over and over and over and over again, that's what wears a relationship down, because we're basically saying, I don't trust you, right? um, I think you're going to end up believing them because I think you're stupid. you know because that's what he's like, do you really think I would listen to them? Yeah, because I think you're stupid. But if I'm like, no, I don't think you would, you know, even if you just ask them once, or if you've asked them, you're like, so when they're saying all this stuff, do you believe all that? And you're like, no. Then you're like, all right, then that doesn't need to bother me anymore. But as long as it's bothering me, I need to look into my stories. I need to look into my emotions and those triggers I have, because otherwise even though this situation might be resolved, until I resolve those things within me, like we talked about before, I'll have other situations come up that will trigger those for me so I can realize they're there and transform them. And that's what we have on the bottom of the deck. You've got the Ace of Swords, which is gaining clarity around all of this. Now we've got abundance, we've got sunshine, we've got brightness with all of this. Um, yeah, so here's the romance, the movement of emotion with him. He definitely sees things from a higher perspective with the Hanged Man. He feels joy and love and celebration. His emotions are full. He's happy with you. And the Emperor. And I feel like there's eventually, um, I feel like it's going to, and excuse my French again, it's going to piss him off enough that he's going to say something to people eventually. But if you continue to focus on joy, 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 and love with them, then and building and bonding together by, again, gratitude and joy and laughter, and building that bond, it makes the things that they say and everything stand out even more. So it's the contrast is so distinct, right? Yeah, focus on the commitment. Here's the Hierophant again. He's committed. He's got peace of mind, which makes sense, really. Arya, if you think about the life that he had with the extremity of the lies and being around liars and narcissists, himself growing up, he's like, "Oh, this isn't anything compared to what I'm used to growing up. So this doesn't bother me." But you didn't have that so much, right? So that's why it really stands out for you. But I do feel like it's really great to be able to start by looking inward, and looking at those triggers that are happening inside you. Because, like I said, we can run, but we can't hide until we find out why. Why does it bother me? What am I fearing? And is that fear really true? And what if that thing I fear happens? I would be fine. I would live. What am I fearing about it? What will other people think? Usually is what it is, right? But when we realize that if our worst case scenario happens, it's like I would be fine. Um, People again, those that truly love me and know me would know that those things that are being said or aren't true, or that, you know, um, an ending of a relationship or marriage doesn't mean anything about you. They would be on your side because they know you. They'd be like, you know, fine. He showed you who he is. He did show you he's stupid. If he chooses them over you, goodbye. That doesn't mean anything about you. That just means they're stupid. you know. But I like this for you. I know they're repeating like things over and over again because I feel like you just needed to hear that several times to be like, yeah, what am I truly afraid of? And there's freedom on the other side of it. So hopefully that helps, Arya. Yeah, they could, but you don't need it to be, right? And and just know that before you came down here, you knew who his parents were going to be and who his friends were going to be, and that they were going to bring this for you. And they're like your teachers, showing me what I need to see about myself until I see it. If you have a chance, you can check out Byron Katie is a wonderful thing. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I love her to death, so I might have. This is her name, and her website, her free website is thework.com. And she has a YouTube channel too. But she has a judge your neighbor worksheet, which helps us find out this mirror. Why did I want to see? What did I want to see about myself and the transformation that comes from it? So it's free if you're interested in that too. but I love her. So thank you again for your dual donations. I appreciate you. So many blessings to you. All right. So we did those. So we did anything over there. So Nova, thank you for your additional donation. And for number 4, so what else do the spirit guides and Kurt want to say about hanging on and having patience, right? Let's take a look here. Do they want, they actually want this oracle here, reawakening the soul. All right. Let's take a look here. And then Olivia, you'll be up next. All right. Let's see, what additional message do they have about patience and hanging on? Oh, there it goes. Card came flying out here. Ooh, Ether Center Present. This is a special card. Like that. Let's see. I think these are on the back of the deck. It's like a special one. Yeah, ether. This is the ether. Ether is the subtle element of vibration. And there's a quote here from the Paramahansa Yogananda. Says, the reality of my life cannot die, for I am indestructible consciousness. I love it. The card message says, oh, spirit of my soul within, to the place of union, love, and honor, I give my gratitude for this gift of life and for my heart that guides my way. The intelligence of God is the spark that activates and energizes all of creation through the creative cosmic vibration. I am filled with this same transcendental energy. In the center of my being, deep into my core, I call on my own essence. I connect with the energies of my own uniqueness, my own special gifts and talents. I fill myself with my own personal energetic signature. I am the very first element in creation. I am universal cosmic consciousness. I unite with my divine mother and heavenly father. I am the source of all matter and the space in which it exists. I am the essence of all that is. Wow. The introspection questions is, do I acknowledge my own essential spirit? Am I connected to my divine source? And am I aware of the subtle energy that sustains me? And the affirmation is, I am universal cosmic consciousness. And I love this because it's like they're really focusing in here about, you know, that you're eternal, that you are this being that is all powerful, all knowing. You know, this human character you're playing is just a character you're playing. And we can take it so serious. We can take it too serious that, oh my gosh, you know, we get caught up in the role that we're playing here, we can forget how powerful, supernaturally eternal we are. And it's like, you know, when we're hanging on by a thread, like you're saying, when it's like, what am I so afraid of? You know, what is so bad? And when we can take a big deep breath and step away from all that and see things from like the moon, right? Meditate, go out to the moon, sit on the moon, look down at the planet, look at the universe, look at the stars, and go, wow, I am expansive. I'm part of all this. And the things that I'm fearing, you know, I don't need to fear um, anymore. And so when it gets to be too much, we realize that, you know, creator and spirit and our own spiritualness it never gives us more than we can handle, and we just need to hold on another moment. But that, this is not real. The stuff we're freaking out about is an illusion. We are truly powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit beings made of unconditional love. This is your higher self, your true self, the actor behind this character, right? And so, we get to have this change. We get to have this different perspective, stepping up and seeing things from our true self, right? So I feel like it's an important thing that happens here. And if we feel like I am on the edge, right? You know, that I can't take another moment, then go get help, um, you know, call for an ambulance to take you to the hospital, call your counselor, see if they can talk you off the ledge in the moment. Do whatever you need to do to stay another moment, and then another moment, and then another moment, and then another moment. And, realize, I know, like, because I was afraid that people were gonna find out that I was gay, and that's why I was gonna kill myself, because of the religion I was in was telling me I was an abomination, and that God hated me, and that I thought my family would hate me, and that the whole world would, and I wanted to escape because I didn't wanna face being unworthy and not enough, and and then spirit stepped in, and I felt the presence of that higher, the other world, and they were just like, "No, don't need to do that. You have things to do, and you just need to be here." And I just begged, "Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me," for years, until I was 29. And then I had a even bigger epiphany where, the creator was like, I don't care about all that stuff. And because I was like, all right, I've been trying to get rid of these feelings and trying to be different, and I said, you created me, so if you don't want this in me, then take it away. But I'm gonna live who I am. And that's when I felt like this beautiful presence change, where it was like the creator was over here and his children were over here, and he was like, sorry, they mean well, but they kind of get things a little wrong when they get into their fears and stuff. He's like, I don't I my wish for you is to have the most amazing life, and I have no judgment over you. You're here to play, so go play, and I'm with you. And it was just like, what? And it's a beautiful thing when my fears were that I was fear I was going to get rejected, but instead I got accepted by the creator. And they were like, yeah, you're perfect in my eyes. I don't have all these rules. I created you. I think you're awesome, right? And when we realize that, and when we realize the fears, the stuff that is so, holding us so, like, hostage, is our lies. They are illusion, right? And it's like, what do I fear? Well, when that happened, or that person says this, or maybe this will happen, this is going to mean this about me. And the creator's like, no, I tell you who you are, and I love you unconditionally and eternally, and you're awesome. That's all you need to know. You're priceless and you're awesome. I love you unconditionally and eternally. So what everyone else says is BS. And I'm like, huh, okay. And that releases us from so much, because the humanity is the one that has all the rules, that have all these things, right? That, do it. Yeah, we all have a story, right? Everyone has extreme fears. Everyone wants to escape and run away from everything. That's our little inner child being activated into fight or flight. But when we pick up ourselves and give that same eternal unconditional love to our little child self, and then it's like, oh, it feels safe, and it feels loved, and it feels complete, right? So it's like just taking another step, and realizing how we're, connected to this higher place, connected to this, you know, um, I don't know, just to this the trueness. It helps us see through the illusion of humanity. So that's why I feel like you got this ether card is see through the BS into the capital T truths of eternal unconditional love, not the judgments that humanity puts on itself, right? So hopefully that helps a little bit. And hang on, hang on, hang on. It always gets better because we gain clarity and we see it for what it is. But also, we definitely want to get assistance if we feel like I'm not going to be able to keep myself from ending my life. Then we go get help right away, because why put it off? They'll help us. Why struggle alone, physically alone? You have all your spiritual posse, you have us, here virtually, but physically, it's going and just saying, "Hey, I think I need some help." And they'll be like, "What's going on?" And you're like, "Oh, this human life is really just becoming a bit much for me." And they'll be like, "Oh, tell me about it, sister. Come here." But definitely, you know, do what you need to do to stick around. It's worth it. Here I am 35 years later, so happy that I didn't bug out of my life. Um and so that we can, all share together here, because I'm sure we're not alone. Everyone's like, hell yeah, yeah, but we can get through it, right? So much love to you, my sister. Hang in there, and thank you for all your love and all your support too. Means a lot. All right, and then Olivia, you are up next. Let's give that some love and a like here for your donation. And so SS's current thoughts about your situation. You've pulled back some to think. When will you connect? Will he make changes? Please be nosy. You're so funny. Oh, thank you, Nova. Yeah, and hey, Lucky, shout out to Lucky. One of my YouTube channel members. All right. So let's see here. Whoa. Hold on. Cards are flying. Okay. I have to move my chair. Lordy. All these things flying all over the place. Okay. Move my chair back. Okay. Okay. Whoa. Okay. I'm just kidding. Let's see what else we have here. So those were those. When will you connect? Will he make changes? And that'll be evidently nosiness. Okay. Well, I do see here, the reason I laughed is because the card off by itself was temperance, the going back and forth here. So here is this pulling back and patience that comes in here too. We've got also the Seven of Pentacles, which is the, evaluation. You can even see they're looking at the fruit that's growing here and that's showing itself here, um, yeah, the letting go. Is that what you're saying, Nelly? It's giving us this cards flying. It is a sign, Olivia, right? Because there's this evaluation and the moon card, the hidden and the unseen that's coming up here. And all this moon energy we've had with the the eclipses, but this super full moon lunar eclipse we had in Pisces a couple of days ago or a few days ago. Yeah, a couple days ago. Bringing a lot to the surface and evaluating, do I want to continue to stay on the same one I'm on, or do I want to change direction, right? So, um, I like this, awareness and this confirmation that comes in here, because it does bring in here, their thoughts are, do we want to stay together? Do we want to go these places here? But one of the biggest things, we'll look here to see if they want to change, but it's what spirit is bringing in with, and they're bringing this back to you, is that with you, when you see the fruit that you have now, one of the important things is to go, what if they don't change? And that's the whole thing. We all, a lot of, especially everyone in this room, we tend to have this amazing ability to see the possibilities of who someone could be, and we fall in love with that. Well, that doesn't mean that's where they're going to go and what they're going to do. And so we get really connected to, when are they going to be that person? And the thing I learned through my relationships was, if I am not happy with who they are now, then um, that I need to either be okay with that and be like, this is who I'm going to be with forever, or no, this isn't going to work out, and let me opt out, right? Let me drop the cards on the floor. Let me see what different direction I do want to go in. But the important thing is to understand, is this thing that I'm needing from them, is it really what I need from them, or is this something that I'm needing from myself, right? Yeah, yeah. And that's the important thing first, because if I'm looking for something outside of me that I can only find inside of me, I'm just going to go from person to person to person to person, thinking that it's somewhere out here, when really, what I'm needing is from me. And then, if I want them to change to be able to give me what only I can give myself, you're asking something of them that's unfair, because you're not willing to give yourself that. How can you expect them to give it to you? Ooh, I love that. It's great clarity that comes in, because then we learn, oh, okay, so what am I expecting them to change? Ooh, there's three fingers pointing back at me. What am I needing to change about myself? Because truly, everyone on the outside world just gives us above and beyond. We have to fill up within our own self to fill up and overflow. And there's clarity that comes in there. So I like all that. Let's see here. Let's see what else. When will you guys connect? You got the Three of Cups. There's seems like there's going to be a gathering together of friends, or some sort of, so not necessarily the celebration card. Well, it is a celebration card. It's like the Four of Wands energy, where there's some celebration, wedding, birthday, promotion, group of friends, someone gets together, and that's when you guys. So I don't feel like you're going to, the next time you'll connect is going to be with other people around. Interesting. Will he make changes? Well, he is gaining clarity, and he is, the Sun card. This is positivity. So, they are taking this time to change. Now, I don't know if he's going to make the changes you want, right? Maybe that's what these other cards, we'll find out here, because, maybe the changes they make are, oh, they're like, you know what? I'm gonna move overseas. I'm glad we had this time. I gained a lot of clarity about what I want in life. And then they go, and you're like, "C'est la vie." So. But let's see what we have here. Yeah, because there is disappointment and this kind of thing here, and when we pull back, that's, the human sees it as a rejection of who they are, right? Because if someone pulled back and go, I need time to think, it's like, oh my God, I'm not good enough. They don't like something in me. We see all this, kind of energy there. And yeah, we do have here the codependency awareness combo around partnerships. The Six of Pentacles is this out of balance giving and receiving energy. Probably have talked about this before, but just in case this resonates with um, anyone else, we've got as we grow up and we are kind of taught that we have to give 1,000 love coins to deserve just one back, right? Because as children, we have like, usually it's like our parents or the important people in our lives. We're like, I give and I give and I give, and they only can give us a little bit back. And so there's this need to give a lot and not deserving a whole lot. And so, when we reject them and say you're not giving enough, I mean, they're already, if they have this, like, I have to overgive, and then we're like, even that's not enough. Or you're giving me wheat and I want corn. They don't understand that. They're giving what they've been taught they're supposed to give. But there is some with this Six of Pentacles, um, has to do with their self-worth and that they've got this way out of balance feeling they have to give so much to deserve so little, which, part of your guys' interaction is for you to be a mirror for that for them. But what they're showing you about you is the important thing here. Um, because otherwise you'll keep, you know, finding the same person, but in someone else's body. I know that by experience that I'm like, why do I keep picking the same type of individual? They just look different. Let's see. First one was Hispanic. The second one was blue-eyed, blonde-haired. The third was Italian. The fourth one was Jewish, and the fifth one was brunette. I'm like, I went through them all, but they were the same person in someone else's body. Maybe I thought if they looked different, they would be different. But but hopefully that helps. Understanding that when we're looking for someone else to change, it's like, well, what am I not getting, and is that something that's fair to ask of them to give me when it's the only thing that we can give is ourself, right? so um so hopefully that helps. His current thoughts were contemplating the same thing, with that that they're looking at the fruit, they're looking at, is this what I want? Things are bubbling up from the surface for them too, and they're trying to determine, is this what I want to continue to do, or the Two of Wands? So because of you backing off, and with that Three of Swords feeling the rejection, they're like looking at, well, maybe I need to find someone else, or is this, I don't feel like they're at that point of self-reflection that you are, that you can look at it and go, this is my mirror, they're mirroring for me. What do I feel is missing? The changes that need to be made are in here, and the thing that I'm missing is in here, not out here. They are in their humanity, and I feel like they're in more of that, heartache, heartbreak of, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, so I have to pull back. I have to, um, I can't give enough to you, with that out of balance giving and receiving. So I feel like that with the backing off and saying that um, there's a lot of self doubt that's been ignited, and I don't know if they're into that place. With all this energy we have, this astrological energy, I feel they're doing a ton of reflection, but I don't know if they're going to. It doesn't. They're kind of in this Two of Swords they're not sure which way they want to go or not, but they're sensing rejection coming, which, with their codependency, that scares the crap out of them. And I feel like their tendency in the past is that if they feel they're going to be rejected, they will reject first and leave, because there's nothing, that all or nothing, that way out of balance codependency that they have, where they have to give so much and deserve so little. It's like I'm either everything or nothing, and they feel like nothing right now. And so, that's what's going on in their side, and it's not even reflected on you. This is all about I'm not good enough. I can't give them enough. I'm going to fail. They're going to reject me. They're going to leave me. They're not going to choose me. Who would choose me? They've got all that stuff going on, inside of them. So um, I just feel like, you know, when we back away from someone expecting them to change, we're basically rejecting them and saying you're not good enough, because we're, of course, attracted to the possibilities that we see. Oh my God, if you could just see who you could be, but they're not there, and who knows if they'll ever choose to be that. So that's the biggest thing when you're empathic, right, Olivia, and all of us empathic people. We just kind of have to take people for who they are, and in the moment, not who they could be. It's hard, I know, because that's what I kept doing, is like, look at the possibilities. They can be faithful, they can do so much, and then yeah. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and I apologize, I didn't mean to make it seem that way, that your intentions, like, you weren't trying to manipulate them, but when you backed away, you're going, "Am I, um are they gonna change in the future and it's like, that's what Spirit's saying. Well, they haven't decided. I don't know if, again, that they've done a lot of self-reflection and, have that desire right now in the 7 of Wands, which is kind of feeling the need to defend themselves. But, yeah. But I feel like Spirit is pointing you back to you, you know, that this space for you to think is, well, the stuff that I'm wanting from them that I don't feel is working well in the relationship, or the capacity, are they going to be able to give me what I need? It's like, well, no one can give us what we need. We can only give ourselves what we need. Everyone else is above and beyond extra. We're all taught, though, everyone and everything in the outside world is supposed to fulfill us, but it's unstable, and we're looking for self-love, and we can only find self-love inward and upward, right? What we find in the outside world is retail. Our self-worth we find on the inside world, the outside world, you know, um, we've got this, um, how what are we worth to others is what we find in the outside world, which is unstable, right? Depends on how they're feeling, what they're going through. Our retail price is always going up and down, ending up on the Kmart blue light special rack, donated, and sometimes our price is raised because in the moment that we're like, so, you know uh, worth a lot to them, but then in the next moment we're back down to another price. So, you know, yeah, yeah, exactly. Nelia, she says sometimes people, they're not vibrating at the same frequency, and that's okay. That's when things kind of drift apart as well. So that is what they have for you, my dear. I know that's probably not exactly what you were looking for, um, but that's what I feel like their message is really focused on. on yourself and the mirror that they're being for you right now. Right, let's see here. It's 1 o'clock. I do have a couple more donations, which I will go and complete these out here. Okay, thank you, Olivia. I know. Sometimes I know. Trust me, I used to pull a lot of cards for myself in the earlier in my life, and I'd be like, "That's not what I wanted to hear, or what I need. I need more guidance." And they're like, This is what you need right now," and I'm like, "Fine." So, yeah. Hey, Olivier, welcome, welcome. All right. And I'm not going to get to any of the other free readings. I'm going to complete out the donations though. So if anyone wants to make sure your reading gets done now in this session, donation of any kind, I will prioritize those and complete them here. But I'm running out of time for the free readings. I will be back this evening at 6 p.m. Mountain Time and tomorrow on Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain. Tomorrow, Sunday's different, where whatever free readings I don't get to, after I go spend an hour with my praying mantis members and I go eat, I come back on and complete out all. So if you've been trying and trying and trying and haven't gotten to you yet, you can try again tonight or come back tomorrow during the Sundays and we will make sure we get you answers this weekend. All right. So, and you can use the super chat or in the description box of the video. I have my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square. And I don't look at dollar amounts. So whatever you feel you want to give from your heart is the perfect amount if you want that. Plus, we dive deeper into those, obviously, too. All right. So, Nelia, thank you for your first donation. And want to know, do you see any joy coming into Megan's life? Soulmate, true love, or anything else general for her? Absolutely. Let's take a look here and see. So what can we know about Megan's life? Any joy coming into her life? Anything that'll help her choose joy more easily, right? Because we can choose joy right now, right? In this moment. For no reason at all, because joy is our natural state, right? All right. So, the bottom of the deck here, we do have the 10 of Swords, which I feel like Megan's at a point in her life where she's ready to let go of a lot of the supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's and have to be's and must be's. That's what steals our joy is all these small t truths rooted in fear. And there's a great meme that I'm all about the memes today, but there's this it says we're not happy because oops, we're looking for it in the future instead of the present, I think. Let me just make sure. I think I saved it here. Maybe not. Oh, why is happiness so elusive? Because you look for it in the future instead of the present. So this is where the 10 of Swords represents all the things that Megan feels has to happen for her to be happy. But we can be happy for no reason at all right here, and no one can take it from us. And when we're looking for, I can be happy when, all these things are what steals joy and steals things away. Like if we're thinking, well, a soulmate, true love, and anything else, all of those things are conditional. They are small t truths rooted in fear of us supposed to be. I can be happy when, but if we put our happiness in the future, we're never happy because there's always going to be something else that has to happen. Okay, once I find love, I'll be happy. Okay, I found love. Okay, no, wait. Once we start dating exclusively, I'll be happy. Oh, wait. I got that. Now when, well, wait, when I get engaged, I can be happy. Okay, when we actually get married. Okay, when we get a house, when I get children, when I get this, there's always something else that gets added on. That's what exhausts us as humans. They're not dead, they're just exhausted. But they're looking to the horizon, and the Ten of Swords is good. It means we get to the point where we're just sick and tired of trying to jump through all the hoops to find happiness when we realize all the things we've told that we have to have, we're supposed to have in order to be happy are lies. We don't. It's not true because we end up getting those things and we still feel unhappy. And we're like, what's next? What's next? What's next? But eventually, we things change. Let's see what else we have here. We got one, two, three. So yeah, death and rebirth, the ending, the letting go of the old ways. There's this transformation that she has here that allows us to see that we're putting an end to those old ways of thinking, kind of going into this new rebirth, phoenix rising from the ashes, right? And that just very much there's this, I think this is Pluto, transformational Pluto Scorpio energy of rebirth, endings, evolution that's happening. And I feel like this is where she's getting to, where she's just tired of trying to hunt everything down. And it's like trying to herd a bunch of cats, right? Yeah. So, Knight of Swords, there is movement of thought and belief and mindset, seeing things from a higher perspective. Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, nurturing herself, birthing a new birth, here again with that death and rebirth card. But this is about seeing that everything she needs, and we were just kind of talking about this a little bit too with Olivia, is that we realize we have everything we need inside of us, even though we're taught relationships, situations, and things of the outside world are supposed to make me happy. They don't. If they fill us up at all, it's only temporary for a moment. It's like eating American Chinese food. You eat it and you're hungry an hour later. It's like it's not fulfilling. It doesn't bring it in, and we're taught. We're all taught. I mean, we're most humans, unless you're adopted by a Buddhist, monastery when you're a baby, you might be taught not to attach to things. But most of us are taught, no, relationship situations, things, jobs, education, bank accounts, bodies, possessions, relationships of all kinds. These all are supposed to fill you up. But then it doesn't. We go and we eat of it and we're still hungry. We drink of it. We're still thirsty. Eventually, we get disappointed and bored and tired of the instability of the outside world. And we turn inward and upward and we find the unconditional love that we are looking for on the inside. And then when we find that, we fill up and overflow. And then what people give us is above and beyond extra. So our outside world transforms from something of lack to something of abundance and overflow instead. So I feel like they're getting ready for this because that Queen of Pentacles is all about finding that my worth lies within me, not the outside world. Self-worth, not retail price of the outside world. Yeah, she's ready here. Yeah. So the three cards at the end were the Fool's card, the beginning of a new cycle, a new journey, a new adventure, free from all these expectations, from all these rules. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. So the quest of finding our self-worth, there's this wonderful um, quest of finding who I really am. And that's the quest. We go to the outside world to find our worth, to find it's not out here. And we come in here and go, there it is. There's the prize we've been looking for. And that's the eternal unconditional love of the higher realms. And then our worth, when we're defining ourselves, we see that we're priceless. Then we don't stop wanting things from the outside world. We stop needing it because we're defining ourselves from the inside, and then the outside world just becomes beautiful and full and overflowing. And we got the Emperor. This is that energy here too, where we're, it's Aries new birth energy. Again, this death and this rebirth. The emperor is filled with, surrounded by, I guess I should say, all these advisors telling him all of those small t truths of the supposed to be and the should be. The kingdom wants this, the empire wants that. Everyone, to make everyone happy, you need to do this and that and this. And the emperor eventually goes, thank everyone for your opinions. You can clear the throne room. I'm the emperor. I'm going to make some decisions for my empire. I'm going to decide what it is I want, not what I'm supposed to want. Make plans and put energy behind it and transform things. So, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And now you sad face, we've been programmed, but it's conditioning and we come down here to experience the adventure. If like, let's say the knight on the quest for that coin is told, oh, it's upstairs, quest over. All right, now what? But the quest is like, it's out there somewhere. And so the knight goes out and goes on this quest and has all these adventures that it came to experience here in the outside world. But then when we're like, all right, I've had enough, then that's when we turn inward and go, oh, ta-da, we found it. And then the new quest begins of walking the earth with feeling this fullness and experiencing life from that vantage point, from that perspective, instead of from a place of lack, right? So I feel like here, she has joy inside of her. She just doesn't realize it yet. But this evolution, this death, and this rebirth is coming. She's at this point where she's just about ready to go, I've had enough. I just don't want this anymore. I'm tired of jumping through the hoops. And then when she turns inward and upward and she finds her amazing, unique, authentic self, then she fills up and overflows. Then her whole outside world changes and reflects that too. So I like that. Right. So that's what they have. Hopefully that gives you enough of what you were looking for there, Nelia. We're like, no, we wanted to know when she was going to get married. I know, but they're just giving big reflective messages today, evidently. All right. And then for your second one, thank you for your second donation. You want to know, will your workplace close down, sorry, before you leave for your future job? And why would my current workplace close down? Time frame, general on that. Sure. Let's take a look here. So I'm just going to take a sip here. All right. So we have those, and then there's that, and there's that, and there's that. All right. So first, will your workplace close down before you leave for your future job? So you got the Two of Cups coming in here, which is this power of emotional choice. On the bottom of the deck too, you have the Ace of Wands that's down here, which is also about the power of energy, where you're focusing your energy, right? And it's interesting. I feel like they're saying that there's a possibility it could or it could not. I feel like you can get out of there if, like, your energy, if the energy that you focus on, and the emotional choices you make, every moment is a choice of higher vibration, lower vibration, right? So if I focus on, let's say, my fear, if I fear that it's going to close down before I leave for my future job, then what am I doing? I'm drawing in that experience, right? That's that magician. Whatever I focus on with my magic wand is what I draw in. Same with my emotional energy, my mental energy, emotional energy, the spiritual energy, and my physical energy. Wherever I invest my energy is what I draw towards me. And I feel like that's what they're saying here is there's a possibility for you to get a future job when you have gratitude about what your current job is and that they're bringing you the perfect job and there's not fear. But if we have fear and wanting and needing, then that pushes it away or it draws in the ending earlier. So there's a great opportunity here for you with that. Even on the bottom of the deck, you have the yeah, you have the Nine of Wands and the Death card. Whoops. So, there is obstacles or flow that come in with those. So I see that here. So, your first one is, will it? It could, but also it could not. So it's all because it's ranges, but it depends on what energy you focus in will bring you the new job first, or you'll draw in the fear of closure first. Why would your current workplace close down? Looks like they have the Ace of Swords here, which is there's like clarity of purpose. And I feel like they're we're not necessarily clarity of purpose, but clarity of job function. And I feel like they would be combining it. They're reminding me one company I worked for closed down, and it's because their lease was up. They had leased this building and this warehouse for like 5 years. They did 5-year leases, and this it was coming up, and they had actually and this was in San Antonio, Texas. They had purchased land up in Fort Worth where they had a warehouse and a distribution center, but because this was coming up to be renewed, they were moving that warehouse function to somewhere because it made more sense. It was financially there was clarity that came in, and that's what I feel is in here is that they're combining into something that's more cost effective with that time frame. Let's take a look here. No, we've got the Two of Swords. Here's that power of story again, right? Being true to your authentic self. So the time frame here is they're bringing it back to that all that power of choice we talked about in the beginning, that it's like, well, the story that we're telling ourselves can change. And so the timing is fluid, meaning that if I focus my energy on finding a new position, this future job, then I'm able to leave that. If I focus on the fear of it coming, it's like I draw it faster to me. Um, because it's like, and I know it seems almost like, what? My energy is going to determine when it would close. Well, in my paradigm, in my stories, it would. So hopefully that makes sense. But they're saying the time frame goes back to um, it won't matter if you draw in your future job, but if you don't, then it comes fast. It comes faster because it's feels like it's being drawn faster to your experience. Let's see. You had also a general on here. You got 3 cards. See if we can get anything else. Hey, you have the Three of Cups, joy, celebration. What makes your heart sing? What makes you feel full? I feel like there's this community or friends, someone puts you in touch with this future job. And also, that is about higher vibration, right? Joy, gratitude, unconditional love. The more we focus in on that, then the more we bring in that kind of experience that comes in. Yeah. And there is a struggle here with the Five of Swords between head and heart. Your heart wants one thing, but your head is like, well, no, 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 no. It needs to be this, this, and this. But the heart's like, but I want to go do that. And so there's the struggle inside between your head and your heart about what this future job is supposed to be, and the direction to go. And so it's important for you to step in to go, what would make my heart sing? What kind of job, what kind of career, what kind of opportunity would make my heart want to sing and dance and feel full, and allow your head and your heart to come together in making a choice about where you want to go and what you want to do. Not just the logical thing, the thing we've always done before. And we can fall into that, right? I had so much time in customer service, that was my default. All right, what customer service or management jobs available? Not, looking at doing something completely different that my heart would really enjoy. Yeah, and you definitely have a new opportunity coming forward with the Page of Pentacles. So it is coming one way or another. You do have a job that's coming, but it has to do with your energy, and that's what all our lives are. The thing we focus on most is what we draw to us the quickest. So hopefully that helps. All right, Nelia, I'm excited. I feel like you're ready to embark on this journey, and the place that you're going to end up, it does feel more like family than it does like you're an employee. So I like that. It's somewhere you feel like you're an important piece of it instead of just a number. Um, so I like that. All right, so that's what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your donation. Appreciate that. Right, and then we have Supernova, and then hey Maria, I do see your additional donation came in here, so we will jump over to that here as well. All right. So Nova, thank you again for all your multiple donations today. Woohoo! I know I'd be too Nelia. All right, so Nova, we want to know how have you been healing? Update on the healing progress. Feels like I haven't been, but who knows? Maybe I have been. All right, let's take a look here. See any. Whoops. All right, that's one of your cards here. I was going to say any. Don't see any oracle. So they're sticking here with these. So Nova. You've got the bottom of the deck, you have the Nine of Wands, and you can see here the injuries to the head. They've got that bandage on their head because they had been hitting their head up against the wall over and over and over again. But you can see here that they have this this Ace of Wands that they're holding that used to be back here, creating the block. And that does tell me that there's, you have made progress because you're holding it and it's not just hitting your head up against it. So, they're telling you, realizing that it takes steps. The first step was to step into your energy there. And you have the Eight of Pentacles on the bottom, which is about putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears, and the movement of things in the outside world. So I like this, as far as healing of the heart, healing of the body, healing of things, that there is progress being made with all of this. Though sometimes we don't um, necessarily see it clearly, right? I know it's life is that it's a spiral staircase that we're walking up, and because we're always present with ourselves, we don't realize how far we go and where we've gone, um, because we're with ourselves all the time. But if we look back a month, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, we're like, wow, I'm so much not who I was before. And sometimes they're like showing like if um if there's like a broken bone that we didn't get the correct help, and it's set wrong, that sometimes it gets kind of rebroken so that it heals where it won't be painful. And that can be kind of what's happening here, is because you're opening up, it feels like, painful. It feels like, we've taken steps backward, but it's part of the process of opening up, right? You do have the Justice card, which is the balancing out of thought and belief that's coming in. Um, and the Star card, which is hope and balance and energy too, that's coming in. So there is more balancing, there is more coming in. And, when we, especially when we, right, yeah. So, you definitely know you're not the same person you were before, but there's, this excuse me, this um you know, balancing out of things, and when we kind of default back into some old reactionary things like the drugs and those types of things, and not eating right and not drinking and not sleeping and not being kind to our bodies and ourselves, we feel awful. And it's like, well, it's more cycles than it is downward spiral. It's like, okay, when this happens, I go into this, but you're not going to go into it as much as you would had been before, because you snap out of it faster, and you're getting help. You're getting outside help, right? Yeah. See, so we've got here, Nine of Pentacles is this feeling of independence and fullness with spirit. But the Eight of Cups is leaving behind emotions that don't serve you. And so that is showing, again, these eights are showing flow and movement that's coming in here. Yeah. Then you've got your, it's like stop and go and stop and go. You've got the slowest moving horse with the Knight of Pentacles, and you've got the Knight of Wands, the fastest moving horse. So it's like you're in stuck in traffic. You're like, oh look, traffic's moving. Okay, now stop. Okay, oh look, we're moving, and then we stop. And when we stop, we feel like we're not making progress, but we forget the amount of time we've had before we were stopping again. So you made progress, and then you've stopped, and you will continue to make progress, and you'll have a stop in the future. Just the stops become less and less. The movement starts to happen more naturally and consistently, but it's all part of your journey and the process that's coming in. So, you know, it's like, um, we get caught up in the pauses and stops of our life because we feel like I should be moving, I should be going forward. Yeah. So, it's about making changes and putting, yourself first, like, eating and drinking. you know, it's like, yeah, I love my body, and I'm gonna tell it that I love it. I'm gonna treat it like I love it. And and as you start loving yourself more and more, then you start doing things more lovingly towards your body, right? So I feel like that's the update. And, you know, I think the realization of that is important, right? So that's what they have for my dear. So now you need to go get something to eat and drink. Whoa, because that's what Kurt is gonna be bossy and tell you to do. Yeah. Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, taking care of yourself. Must take care of yourself. So that's what they have for you, my dear. So do it, do it, do it. Said, don't make me contact my Australian ninjas that I have there. I at least have one person. I just don't know where you live, but I can find out. I have a friend who lives there. I think she lives in Sydney. She might have moved, but I think she moves close to Sydney. I'll dial her up and say, I need you to go do an intervention. Uh-oh. All right, just kidding. I'm not threatening you. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Much love to you. And thank you again. All right. And then Maria, and this will be my last donation reading. I'm going to go grab a bite to eat, but I will be back tonight. So sorry to everyone that I didn't get to any of the free readings in this session. But I will be back at between 6 and 8 p.m. this evening. So we'll try to get you then, and if not, Sundays I do come back on after my sessions, and you know, whatever readings I don't get to on that Sunday morning session, I come back on after I spend some time with my praying mantis sessions and eat, and I make sure I complete everything on Sundays. I used to do it for all sessions, but it became too much. And when I got the plague, Spirit was like, boy, you better balance. So I'm listening. So sorry to everyone I didn't get to. All right. So Maria, reach back. Oh, he did reach back. Okay, perfect. I love it. So thank you for your additional donation. I want to know, what are their thoughts now that he said he took a nap and he feels better? Ah, very good. Let's take a look here. You didn't give him the Inquisition. All right. So so now that he has had his nap, he's not a grouch anymore. And yeah. Yeah. So yeah, joy, joy, joy. He was happy that you didn't ask him any questions, and that you're just happy that he's feeling better, because he didn't want to regurgitate everything and talk about it. Um, yeah, he's yeah. I don't know. I got the star energy on the bottom, which is Aquarius energy, which I am Aquarius sun. So I get it that um, if I want to talk about something, I'll talk about it. And otherwise, if someone goes, "How are you?" and I'm like, "I'm good. How are you?" and I will totally just talk to everyone else. Nova, spirit knows all. They will find you. I'll use one of those little pendulums and find out where you live. Sorry, Maria. So I feel like that you did good, and just let him, you know, even if you ever just say, do you want to talk about it?" And if they're like, "No," then just take it as that. And if they're like, "Well, yeah," you can always just ask that. You don't have to pry or whatever. Say, or like you did before, like, "Well, if you need to talk about it, you can always talk to me about it, but I'm not going to pry." And then, what are his thoughts that he took a nap? Yeah, he feels so much overflowing. Look at this. He's got the Queen of Pentacles, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, feels like brand new. The Ace of Cups is full and overflowing. So he definitely much, much more happier, um, free flowing here. And what else do we have here? Yeah. Wow. And he feels very motivated for this new start. We've got the Fool's card, which the zero, which is about a new, um, this new journey, new adventure, free of expectations. The Three of Wands, the change of direction. The Six of Swords, which is a movement card about moving from old ways of thinking to new ways of thinking, but thinking about movement. So I feel like they had the nap just allowed them to get away from everything, calm down. Now they're thinking clearly, and I feel like they're really focused on getting gone with all that. Yeah, and look at this. They got the Wheel of Fortune too, which is, they have a great attitude that they know everything that happens for a reason. I feel like they have that philosophy, right? Everything happens for a reason, and and this is the movement of the Wheel of Fortune. Things are about to change. They can feel that there is movement, and the wheel of fate is turning with all this. So I like that. Um, and they know endings and beginnings happen on purpose for a purpose too. So I really like that. So I feel like yeah, it's like night and day, right? That frying pan cool off. Psst. Ah. Now you can touch it without getting burned. Yay! Yeah, I love it. I love it. So yeah, that's what they have for you, Maria. So Easy breezy, short and easy. Great, great energies. That's there. So, wow. All right. So, thank you again for your donation. Good to see you. And thank you guys so much for all the thumbs up. I really appreciate all the love and support. And apologies again to all the free readings that I did not get to. I didn't get to any of them. Um, and thank you for the donations. It does help me continue to do everything that I do. I will be back in about 4 hours, a little over 4 hours, for my evening session. And then also back tomorrow morning. And on Sundays, as I said, I do make sure I get to every question sometime during the day. So if you've been trying and you haven't been successful in getting your reading, please come back tomorrow and I'll make sure that we get messages for you. But until then, remember, everybody, every second of every day of your lives, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you guys again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. We'll see you soon.